Right guys, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this supersized chocolate dairy milk bar cake. So what I'm using for a base on this is actually just some cardboard, and then I've covered that with cling film, and then side by side I'm putting two 12-inch square cakes. I'm going to leave just enough of the cardboard at each end, because this is where the end of my wrapper is going to go. First of all, I'm leveling them both off so it's level right across. Then I'm just going to make it perfectly square, as the tins I used were rounded at the corners. Once that's done, I'm just going to carve each end down, so I'm rounding out the corners all along the sides and down both ends. I'm only rounding slightly at the top and the bottom. At the right and the left, I'm carving right down towards the base. Now I'm going to cover the whole thing with chocolate ganache. I'm going to do a few layers of this and make sure I've got it nice and smooth at each end, and keep the edges nice and sharp. While that's setting, I'm going to roll out some white sugar paste. I'm using the sugar paste, and this is what I'm going to use to create the text on my chocolate bar. So first of all, I'm cutting this sort of waved shape, and then I'm just cutting the letters out freehand. So first of all, I'm cutting them all into squares. I find this the easiest way. And then I'm going to cut the letters out using a small scalpel, one by one. I've just got a reference picture up for this, and I'm just taking my time to try and get the shape of the letters right. There's a few more other little shapes on the dairy milk bar, and the two glasses pouring, there's a little flick at the end. I'm going to create them also with some of the flat pieces of sugar paste I had left. So that's the two glasses pouring. What I've done now is I've coloured the sugar paste using Spectrum Flow water-based colours. For this I used royal blue and some pink water-based colours to create this colour. I'm going to airbrush afterwards, but first of all I'm going to roll this out and roll it over the top. I've smoothed it all to the surface, and now I'm just trimming along the sides. With some of the excess sugar paste I have there, I'm going to make each end. So I'm just rolling out a long strip of that, cutting it into a nice sharp rectangle, cutting it in the middle, and then smoothing it down on one of the sides. I'm just drawing a seam along here, and then using my Dresden tool, little dashes to create that rippled effect on the edges to give the illusion of the end of the wrapper. Now, to attach the letters that I made earlier, which should be nice and dry by now, I've just steamed the whole surface, and I'm going to place them on in the correct position. I've coloured some of the sugar paste brown here, and I've just cut out the shape of this pot that's on the front, and then using some powder based golds, painting on the Cadbury logo and this strip on the side here. You can also add names to this, the name of the person whose birthday it is, or the name of the person whose event it is. That'll be a nice touch under the dairy there. So then just using some Spectrum Flow water-based colours again, some browns, some reds and some yellows, I'm just painting the details on this pot and then the Cadbury logo. Just to finish off, I've got some purple Spectrum Flow airbrush colours in my airbrush. I'm just going to give this a load of shadows, and that is it. That's how you make this dairy milk supersized chocolate bar cake.